Blueprint was probably the biggest single thing that we did, because it put us on this road of trying to learn about things and plan things better, and get ourselves better as a business, and gave us an idea of how to do it.
There is absolutely no doubt it opened my eyes to all the different methods of running a business. What really counts, you was doing it but not recognising it. Blueprint put it into compartments that worked. We could understand how our business runs, and we could start looking at our people in a different way.
It gave us a nice framework, which was at the time, I think, very appropriate for the business. Yeah, it was the right level. It wasn't too simple, wasn't too complicated. It was right, and wasn't too difficult for people to get to understand it, and by understanding it, having a little bit of ownership of it.
My feeling after the first session was that it was like getting a great big tin opener and opening up my head for the first time in ages. And John's been a great support.
I would definitely recommend the Blueprint programme, without a doubt. Yeah, it's it's like I say, it's had a great effect here for me personally. I feel a great achievement, and I think that the staff feel that as well. And hopefully that's all going to come out in the bottom line when we get the end of the year figures.
And what's the message to people that might just come on the programme but not implement the kind of things that you've done? Because that's always the difficult bit, isn't it? Is that taking what you've learnt in the programme and putting it into practice?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be committed to that. You've got to be fully committed. There is a lot of things that I took away just from general management skills from the programme, but I was totally committed with the board behind me to implement those. It has taken a lot of time. We've put a lot of effort into this, but you've got to do that to get the things out the other side.
And to get the results.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So but without that, it's worthwhile.
I mean, Blueprint, I think, as you know, is a fantastic product, and as you say, having worked with it in a number of occasions, I've seen some tangible successes. But what I'd like to do is just go, as you say, go back a stage and just say, well, just tell me a little bit about how did the Blueprint originate? Where did it come from?
Its history is interesting, because it started off life, I suppose, with my background of always having had a great interest in what it is that differentiates the best people, the best teams and the best organisations from the rest.
Yeah.
I've always taken an interest in why is it that in any sector there are some organisations that outperform others, not by small amounts but by huge amounts, yet they're very much in the same business. Mm-hmm. And conversely, when I see people in the workplace, I see people doing almost exactly the same job, and individuals really outperforming others, yeah, despite the fact that they're doing an identical job. And you see that in sales, of course, don't you? So that's where it all started, of that interest in what is it that makes the difference. I suppose what also happened was that caused me to start exploring that beyond the UK. And I was fortunate, I suppose, to have clients and to have contacts that enabled me to do that. So I spent some time in Japan, I spent some time in the United States. I was commissioned to write a publication on world-class performance, mm-hmm, and that got me in front of quite a few of the organisations that were, in those days, European Quality Award winners, Baldrige Award winners in the United States, and Deming Prize winners. And I started then to accumulate an awful lot of information on what it was that differentiated the best from the rest. Mm-hmm. I then decided that the sensible thing would be to pass on that knowledge to others. Yeah. And is there a way of doing it in a way in which we could package some of that information? And we started to develop a toolkit of best practice, pulling together documents, pulling together tips and ideas, writing some editorial to support that, and the Blueprint Toolkit was born. And that would have been probably around about 20 years ago, something along those lines.
Okay. So what makes it different from any other products out in the marketplace?
Well, I would say the thing that does make it different is the fact that it is based on the experiences of the best organisations. Mm-hmm. I think the other thing that I discovered was that in many cases these organisations were doing very similar things to anybody else. Mm-hmm. So they were business planning, they were measuring or managing performance in some way. They were trying to communicate with their people. They were trying to win business. They were trying to satisfy their customers. They were trying to get their quality right. But what I really discovered was that it was more than what they were doing. It was more about how they were doing it.
I see. Yeah,
And that to me was the thing that made the difference. So it started to recognise that it's not just about systems and procedures, but it's really about human behaviour.
Okay.
And that's about the behaviour of the managers and leaders of those organisations and the behaviour of the people they were managing.
I see.
So I think the blueprint is pulled together those two things, is the basic systems and procedures that drive performance and the behaviour of human beings to get the best out of those procedures.
So what you're saying is that you're passing on your wealth of knowledge and experience gained so other people can benefit from it.
In that, yeah, and to a certain extent, the blueprint is based on not what I believe, but what I've seen in other organisations. So it's not about management theory, it's not about academia, it's about down to earth business practices that have been observed in the best performing organisations.
Okay.
Hi, how are you? John Cox here, author of the award-winning Blueprint Business Improvement Programmes. I'm going to introduce you to a new way of learning to improve your business, the Blueprint Multimedia Programme. The Blueprint has already helped to deliver exceptional performance to hundreds of organisations who report on sustainable and significant growth over several years, profit margins that far exceed others in their sector, and continuing success even during the recession. This has come from my practical, down-to-earth and easy-to-implement approaches that really work. Participants also report on the Blueprint providing a life-changing experience, with less stress, more free time, and a level of confidence to take on more new and even greater challenges. The Blueprint works for large and small organisations alike, well-established and start-up businesses, private and public sector. It has been tailored to specific sectors like construction, the hire industry, manufacturing, voluntary and service sectors. As well as managing and running my own businesses, I continue to research the practices and processes of high-performing businesses and business people around the world, finding out what differentiates the best from the rest. I package this learning into the Blueprint programs that include toolkits of best practice, a series of innovative supporting workshops, and one-to-one consultancy support. This has been delivered to over 7,000 organisations throughout the UK. Technology now enables me to reach a far wider audience, as well as continuing to support previous and new Blueprint users. This new monthly subscription-based multimedia programme is aimed at busy business people who are time poor but still need a regular fix of updates on tips, ideas and new approaches to improving business performance. I will be helping you to identify more business opportunities, to win more profitable business, driving down operating costs, enhancing the customer experience, increasing employee contribution, improving the bottom line, and achieve a better lifestyle along the way. In addition, I will be giving away thousands of pounds worth of additional goodies to subscribers, including confidential reports, self-assessment questionnaires, and discounted places on future workshop retreats. There will also be opportunities for other like-minded business consultants and advisors to work with me on promoting and delivering the Blueprint, so please get in touch with me. So, if you're looking for that life-changing experience with far less stress, a lot more free time, and importantly making more money, then this is the programme for you.